Hi, let me introduce myself. My name is Megan, and I am a cPTSD and PTSD survivor and a thriver in life. At least I'm trying to get there. I want to share my story and I want to share my process in healing and recovering my original blueprint, as I like to say, for not only my own record. So even if nobody sees this, it's for me. Because someday I might write a book about it. But also for anybody who has been traumatized, and let me tell you, it's everybody, especially if you're in the United States. Living here, just by your very existence, you are changed from your original blueprint, your natural design, in order to fit into this society that is around us. And what I'm realizing more than ever, just like the show The Good Place, is that this is actually the bad place. And we are all suffering. So, regardless of where you are on the healing spectrum or on the trauma spectrum, this could help you wherever you're at. So really quick, my story really starts in utero. My mother, I was an unexpected pregnancy with someone she was seeing in between, in an unstable time in her life. And she was not happy about that. So her choice was to get drunk, and she drank like an entire bottle of hard liquor. And she ran a bath and passed out in the bathtub, which I can only guess was a suicide attempt. Later on in the pregnancy, she contracted toxoplasmosis, which is a parasite that women who are pregnant can get from cat litter, basically. And anybody can get it, but it's especially harmful to pregnant women to the embryo or to the fetus. She contracted toxoplasmosis and was unaware of it because there was little known about it at that time. I was born in 1977, for context. And when she went into labor, she was multiple weeks overdue. It's hard to say. She thinks it was 6 weeks overdue. Some people say, well, that's way too long. The amniotic fluid would have been dried up, which it was. So it's 4 to 6 weeks overdue. She knows for sure it was at least 4 weeks. And the and when I was born clinically dead. My heart wasn't beating, and I was not breathing. I had already started having bowel movements, in utero, and the amniotic fluid was indeed dried up. I was, despite my being so overdue, I was still only just a little over 5 pounds. And I was rushed to ICU, or to the NICU, where they shocked my heart and brought me back to life. So, and so that's just the trauma I experienced up till birth. And I know my mom was going through a lot while she was pregnant with me. So I was born into an abusive household where my mother had a personality disorder and her mood swung. She had been through a lot of trauma in her life, and she was unstable. And I witnessed some horrors in my childhood. So at 17, I wanted to get out of that situation. I had been seeing somebody, I had a boyfriend in high school from 15 years old, and I got pregnant, not on purpose, which was very traumatic for me because school was important. But the escape from what I had been experiencing to what where I was going was, in my mind, going to be easier. And in some ways it was, but in other ways it was worse. And I got into basically a prison of a marriage, very controlling, abusive relationship, or abusive, marriage, where I was controlled. I wasn't allowed to do much. I was never good enough. And the psychological and emotional abuse was extreme. And I finally escaped that about 14 years later. And after that, it got worse. And he turned into something I never would have imagined that he could be. And without going into all the details, he just wanted to destroy my life in every way possible and take the kids. And there was always this threat looming, and he just really went balls out. Going on 16 years now, because it still hasn't stopped. And my oldest son is disabled, and he presently has guardianship of him, an adult guardianship, and only allows us to see him 2 hours a month. So that's an ongoing situation that has actually been the catalyst for me learning how to live, a normal life, even though there's this great sadness still present. And that's the beginning of my journey. I mean, that's just the beginning of my well, I guess you could say that's where everything has started. That's just kind of it in a nutshell of what has led me here, and to the having complex PTSD and PTSD from more recent happenings. So that's just the beginning of the story, and I really want to get next to the beginning of the healing journey. And if you'd like to learn more and hear more about what I've learned on how to heal and surviving trauma, even though I'm still learning, right? I'm still learning. You can come along with me. I'd love to have you, and I'd love to learn from you as well. So please continue to listen, and we'll do this together.